Rationalization of the water, and we're happy to have with us in the studio engineer Mr. Husam النجار, water resources expert, to shed more light on that topic. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. I'm talking to start with rationalization of water, and just to take another experience what happened in electricity. And the people that started to be aware in rationalizing electricity, and we started to feel this actually. A great success was achieved in this respect. Unfortunately, still up till now, we can see people using water in a very, it's something like a behavior. Even we can see people in the street just using the water in washing cars in a very, you know, I can say cruel way, if I can say this actually, because we all know how the challenge is when it comes to the water. So why is this?
First of all, we need to specifically say what is the role of the Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation. The ministry is the main object and site to talk to about management of water resources, of available water resources in Egypt. We are mainly talking about the 55.5 billion cubic meter of the Nile water and some other water resources. The issue we're talking about now is the main message the ministry needs to deliver to people, to Egyptian people now. It's because that we have issues, and everybody knows we have issues that we need to discuss thoroughly. In the Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation, we realized the important role of media and the important role of continuous communication with people and
to promote.
Yes, of course, and the need of delivering the complete message to help people achieve what they need. They need the water to be sustained and to be there for them all the time. So you need to know some things about.
We need to change our behavior.
Yes, as a matter of fact, this is the future. Yes.
So how do we do that? Like, would you tell us about the campaigns raised by the ministry to raise the people's awareness?
Yes, the ministry now is making multiple campaigns. It's the main campaign now is going on called has a slogan of keep it to find it, keep it now.
Keeping it now to find it later.
Yes. Try to keep water now and try to sustain it. Don't waste water. Don't pollute water, so that you can find it later for next generations and for your own use.
How can we work on this or to make it more effective? I mean, sometimes media reach all people, and just as I mentioned in the very beginning, do they pay for the water like this? Do we have any penalties or any law that can protect this wrong behavior of using the water? Things that we can see all around us in the street, for example.
Yes, the ministry now is thinking about keeping the people fully about the situation, the current situation in Egypt, our current incomes and outgoings of water and resources of water. We mainly have the Nile water, the 55.5 billion cubic meter a year. And this amount is fixed, but in the same time we are spending more than that. We are spending more water than the water that is currently coming to us. So we need to find a solution for this problem. Mainly now we depend on wastewater reuse, agriculture drainage reuse, and there are some other water sources like some desalination, some very rainwater, and of course the
But we don't have any steps taken for any who will just think to violate the rules.
Of course, there are laws to judge this, but our rule in the ministry is primarily to manage the available technical management of the available water resources. So we train people and we try to make the available steps to our ministry.
Now, what about the subsidies? Because there are areas where the subsidies are elevated, like for instance the West Coast with all the various houses and villas there. Now it's the subsidies have been removed, and I think now it's like £6 or more per cubic meter of water, while in Cairo, for instance, you pay your money according to an apartment building meter, not an individual meter. Now, would adjusting it individually and charging each apartment individually help rationalizing the water rather than when it's the full building all together?
Now you are talking about drinking water.
Yes, the drinking water, of course.
Is a part, of course, of the needs and requirements of the people,
Yes.
but it's not the main objective of the water resources and irrigation ministry.
Yeah.
The ministry is specified to the management of water resources in order to deliver the waters to all the needs.
Okay.
You have agriculture needs, which is the main
Consumption
source. Yes.
Yeah.
You have factories and you have other needs other than drinking water. Drinking water and domestic needs generally is not the biggest
major
issue.
thing.
Yes.
Okay.
But talking about, just as you said, in agriculture, for example, and all this, and we can see that there are some new technical tools and methods can help in to save more water, and many of the people or the farmers over there, they started actually to use it. Can we say that all of them now they are using such techniques, or still there are some people they just use the traditional one? And how far can this help in the just, you know, it's changing the behavior and to talking about the usage of water?
Talking about the techniques is not the issue now. You have to ask yourself first: does these farmers realize the problem itself? Does these people feel that we are in desperate need for water and every drop wasted is a disaster happening? Does these
Are
people,
they aware of this?
Yes, you have to keep informing them.
We have to ask you.
Yes.
You are the only one
We
who
are
can tell
doing
us.
our best to do this in the ministry. We have the central media department in the ministry, the central directorate of awareness and water. In this department, you have professionals that work around the clock to deliver the message, to produce that can reach from the highest level people to the lowest level, and try to deliver the message that every drop of water matters, every drop of water is very much needed, and you have to rationalize, you have to don't waste water on non-important issues, don't pollute water, and so on.
Now, is this only through media, or do they go like in communities and they lecture? Because sometimes when you watch something on TV, you take it lightly. It's not like when people go to your community and address you in a type of a seminar or a type of awareness campaign within your area or your village or your hamlet. And not everybody would watch an educative program, for instance.
Yes, of course. The ministry actually goes to the society by the form of making I won't say
Yes. Do they visit them in their hamlets and villages, for instance?
it's not the direct approach we are taking. We are taking the the official approach to reach the highest ground possible, to reach range of people. We sign agreements and we make protocols with various entities like the Ministry of Culture, like the Egyptian Church, like the Al-Azhar. And those people already have a wide reach, and we can deliver our message through them to educate people about what we need them to be informed about.
So we are talking about the role of Al-Azhar on the media, on parts, just as you mentioned, just to promote awareness of the rationalization of water. So let me ask you about the role of the ministry itself in these areas, talking about the villages, talking about agriculture lands, especially that we all know that there are certain crops that will require more water. So definitely this is under the control of the ministry itself.
Of course, we tend to think of the sources of the problem before trying to solve the end issues. We think about we have to ask ourselves again, what is causing the issues of the people not ignoring the current issue of water and so on. We have to reach to people by the like we already are. We are
having some meetings with the people over there, workshops. I think it's going to be not that difficult actually. When you reach, for example, a village, you know who are the owners of the lands, and you can gather with them, and definitely they have a group working together or something like this.
Or even,
course,
addressing the mayors even of the villages.
Yes, of course, there is already a system in place for communication with farmers and land users, and it's already on effect, and it's already working to deliver the message. But we are talking about conventional ways to reach a wider base of people, and we have a Facebook page actually, and
but don't tell me all farmers will enter Facebook.
Of course, but you know what?
They won't be doing that. Most of them, their children, their educated children might be, but the elderly
That's
ones.
what we are talking about. You have to look to the new generations, and you have to interact with the ones that really matter. Actually, the old farmers and the old people are not going to change most of the time, but they are trying to change their methods and so on. But the new generations are the ones that matter actually.
Yeah, so, but some of these either will be going to school, but the ones who are working actually on the land, even if they are children, they are taken out of school to help. These won't. Definitely, they won't be having an internet and accessing Facebook. That needs internet. It needs money. It needs computers or laptops.
Yes,
that's a lot for a person in a hamlet.
There is without a TV, of course.
Of course, TV is different though than laptops and computers. When it comes to, if you consider the prices of them, I think that maximum they'll go to an internet cafe, but they won't have it accessible every minute.
We don't depend on internet 100% of the time. Of course, you depend on the media itself.
Yeah.
The media can be delivered through the internet. The media can be delivered through the TV. And various other methods. Actually, we are producing a magazine 3 times a year already. We are doing a lot of other channels other than the TV and the internet and so on. Those channels actually widens the reach of the ministry and make it easier for the message to reach people.
Right. At the end, we hope that the message can reach all people, and actually this is something of great importance, because without this we will not be able to survive, talking about the rationalization of water in all domains actually. Engineer Husam, النجار, water resources expert, thank you very much for joining us. Still we have more to bring you, so just we will move on to a quick break, and we'll be back to resume our breakfast show.